What's going on, everybody? It is Chris Classic dropping a car vlog on this lovely Friday morning. On the way to work. God is good. Nobody told you today. God loves you. Christ loves you. I love you. There's a lot of trick of the enemy going on in life. A lot of people thinking that people are on their side, and God will reveal the truth. And sometimes the truth is something that hurts and things that we do not like. So I do pray that we read and we seek discernment in what He's saying instead of misinterpreting and running what we do. You know, with social media, a lot of people run with stories and run with narratives and move the goalposts and gaslight. So always remember that. Make sure you subscribe to this channel, and also me and my wife's professional wrestling YouTube channel, C3 Ultimate Wrestling. I will start uploading promos for the show, match packages and everything. Our next show is June 10th. That's less than a month away in Crown Point, Indiana. I hope to see you there. Now, a lot of you guys know that my favorite wrestler is The Undertaker. You know, a wrestler who has it all. He had a character. He was tall. He was agile. He was a believable wrestler. And he's from Texas. You know, that's like icing on the cake. But I want to talk about somebody who was very great, very agile as well, and was a believable wrestler. And I want to talk about his brother, Kane. Kane is definitely a Hall of Famer. So when they inducted him, I was happy. Now, I know a lot of people are upset with Kane's outside views, with everything like that. But Kane is up there as a great wrestler. You get what I'm saying? The storyline was so perfect with how he came into be, as he is Undertaker's brother, and Undertaker thought he burned down the house and burnt his family down to a crisp, cookie crisp. And Paul, who was mad at Undertaker, said, "Oh, he's alive! He's alive! Kane's alive!" So that was something too, because if you were a fan at the time, you were like, dang, there's somebody that's more scarier than the Undertaker, the guy that was like dragging people under the ring, the guy that was shooting thunderbolts out his hand, dude was burying people, cage matches. You mean to tell me that there's a second one? You get what I'm saying? Like a suspense. And you know, sometimes when you look at shows, you have somebody that's about as equal in power and everything. And sometimes that makes you scratch your head and wonder what's going on. You know, you guys know I'm a Sonic fan. So when Shadow the Hedgehog came out, they were saying he's as fast as Sonic and he looks like Sonic, even though it doesn't look like Sonic to me. It was still an interest. It was an interest, like, oh, okay, well, what can this person do? So, you know, you say like you have an evil version of somebody, and you question that. And the thing was, Undertaker was already evil. So then now you're trying to say somebody is twice as evil as Undertaker? Scary. So we're like, okay, well, what does he look like and stuff like that? And Undertaker was like, he didn't want to fight his brother at all. And then the way he debuted in the Hell in a Cell when Undertaker was going against Shawn Michaels. Now, he almost broke Undertaker's neck with that power driver. If you look at it, it's an awkward looking tombstone power driver. When he broke the cage door and attacked his brother, it was very awkward and scary. But still, this dude was so menacing. His arms was like huge. Like, the dude was bigger than the Undertaker. So it's like, it's not a lot of wrestlers that was bigger, taller than the Undertaker and things like that. So that's like what's so interesting to me at the time, was that this dude is like bigger and stronger than the Undertaker. This is what I'm looking at from a fan's point of view. How in the world can the Undertaker beat somebody that's his brother and knows everything? He was doing everything the Undertaker was doing. Tombstones, picking up big guys. The guy was like throwing Vader around, who was what, a 400-pounder, like it was nothing. Excuse me. And people talk about how strong this guy is as a person behind the scenes. He had a mask. He didn't talk. The man, I believe he had one sleeve at the time, one arm sleeve. He had a different look compared to his brother. They didn't have him like looking exactly like his brother. Like, He had like flames on his gear. It looked great to me. It was appealing because it was different. Like, who is this person? What is this person? Of course he wants to attack his brother because his brother burnt the house down. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing with Kane. Kane was believable. And, you know, they didn't have him talking at first. And then eventually they had him act like he had a trait. They didn't need to have him with the trait. I thought that was a little spooky and goofy. And I say spooky, not scary, just funny. You know, just a trait. You know, you're not used to seeing like a 7-foot person. I've never seen a 7-foot person talk with a trait and stuff. So they, you know, they had him have it. You know, he definitely tried it. But looking at his moves, right? He had a different. The way he did things was a little bit different with the Undertaker. Even like in the later years when he started being sleeveless Kane. You know what I mean? When like he basically had, you know, the singlet with the arm showing and things like that. The way he used to do like one-arm choke slams, like it had so much conviction. You know what I'm saying? Like the one-arm choke slam. Like if you guys could look up a compilation. The one-arm choke slam that he did just had so much conviction with it and stuff like that. And then even doing the fire thing, like kids used to get scared of that. And then even when later in his years again as the Kane, the pyro would just randomly go off. Like you didn't even know when he was coming in. One time I went to a live WWE show, and there was a little girl. She was with her father in front of us, and we were watching. I believe it was a Goldberg match. Pyro just randomly went off, and then the little girl was scared because Kane was here, and she was scared of the pyro. That's the kind of stuff that works. The aesthetic in wrestling works and stuff like that. Nobody was expecting Kane to show up, and the pyro was like a great thing. But going back into the character and the story with The Undertaker, the match at WrestleMania 13 was good. Could have been better. It was a lot of sloppy things, but I think it served the purpose that they had a guy that was about as big as bad as The Undertaker. Them teasing, them going, you know, Kane being set on fire in the Inferno match was good, was dope. Like, they did great with Kane at the beginning and stuff. Even with him teaming with his brother on and off for so many years, it was so interesting because it was just like, who can beat these guys? Who can basically beat Undertaker 1 and Undertaker 2? But then eventually Kane started developing his own character. They had him doing some things like he didn't have friends and wound up being friends with X-Pac and you know, DX and all of this stuff, and then they used him. Like, they've done things. Like, I'm not gonna sit there and say everything that Kane done was perfect and stuff like that. Him unmasking was a big moment in wrestling, and you can see it on like YouTube and stuff. And they said that was a big rating when he went against Triple H. And if he won the championship, and if he lost, he had to unmask. That was a big thing back in the day. That was a very big thing back in the day because a lot of people, it wasn't no pictures of people backstage with social media, leaked pictures. It wasn't a lot of stuff going on back in the day. So nobody really knew what he was until like I got older and realized that he used to be Isaac Yankem, the dentist, back in the day. But going back into it, it wasn't a lot of people who knew what he looked like. So a lot of people wanted him to win, but at the same time, a lot of people wanted to see, like, what did he look like? And then when he lost, he took his mask off. I'm sorry, that looked goofy too. Like, you know, burn victims have a lot of traumatic stuff and how they look and stuff like that. Kane just had half a hairline, a chili bowl, one blue eye, one gray eye, and he just had some black marks on his face that just looked like somebody hit him with a Sharpie and just said, hey man, look here, just headbutt this Sharpie and put your mask on. And that's exactly what he did. He headbutted his Sharpie and did it. Now, still looks scary though. That's the thing about believability. The man still looks scary. The man set JR on fire. The man started using college words. I like to eviscerate people. Like, he started using a different vocabulary and stuff. And this was a little bit before Kane started using his regular voice because they dropped the trait thing because it was kind of stupid. Kane started having somewhat of a personality and things like that. But man, that man was so agile, man. This dude was that top rope clothesline. Oh my God, if that was a finisher, that would have been a believable finisher. The 7-foot guy, 300-something pounds, going off the top rope. You know, a lot of people wasn't beating him at the time, but then eventually they gave him the thing where he would You know, he tapped out to Kurt, and you know he lose a lot. People would cheat, and then stuff happens. You know what I'm saying? Like paths are different. You know, he can't have the same story as the Undertaker because then he would have fizzled to just being just a clone. You know what I'm saying? And you know we're dealing this week a loss of superstar Billy Graham, and when we think of a character like that, and they say like how a lot of characters and people stole from him, you know, they say Scott Steiner called himself superstar for a little bit, and then you talk about Hogan and things like that. We gotta think about back in the day, people used to just not even steal, just steal and borrow aspects from certain wrestlers and stuff. Nature Boy, Ric Flair's not even the first Nature Boy, and he's not even the last. There's a guy on the independent scene called the Nature Boy, Paul Lee. So you got to think about these kind of things and trying to make it your own. You know, Flair made it his own and things like that as the Nature Boy, and Kane made himself his own self, if that makes sense. Yeah, he got similar moves and things like the Undertaker and stuff like that. But who's getting out the ring like the Undertaker? I mean, like Kane. The Undertaker would do it sometimes too. The way they used to roll back, I'm scared to do that, bruh. I'm scared to roll back and get out. If I'm probably going to practice that. I think it's pretty good. I think it's dope how they used to just put their arm, like go back and fall, roll over backwards, like a little backwards somersault or whatever like that. I thought it was good that those guys did. But Kane used to do it with so much ease. And nobody really thought, like, this dude is so intimidating and menacing. Why is he doing a backflip out the ring? Because it's Kane. You get what I'm saying? But even after he, like, took the mask off, they had him doing violent stuff and crazy things and all of that stuff. They made him like a monster, sent people on fire. He shocked Shane's testicles with a car battery before. Shane was selling that like $1 million, man. That dude looked like he was about to die. So yeah, they did a whole bunch of things with Kane, and Kane wound up being nice, being bald-headed with a half chili bowl, doing things with the Big Show, and the trumpet thing with Santino, like the comedy thing, and what else they do? They did a lot with Kane. May 19th, it was the release date of the movie See No Evil that he starred in, which was a good movie, by the way. I actually enjoyed the movie. But May 19th was like, I believe, when his parents died. I forgot the story, not 100%, but they wound up having a imposter Kane come out and beat up Kane, and not only beat up Kane, but also beat Kane. Mind you, this Kane did not look like how Kane used to look. The wig was horrible. The guy was short. It's the guy who used to be Festus. Now he's Luke Gallows. I think it's Luke Gallows or Doc Gallows of the OC. That's who the imposter Kane was. Look it up. If you look up you look at how they look definitely different. The hair, they could have did better. Hair, they could have made it look like Kane. Didn't make it look like Kane. I could have asked Undertaker to put the stuff on. I mean, Undertaker dressed like Kane before, and it kind of looked like Kane. They didn't do it, so it was kind of displeasing. I don't even know. Kane has been in a lot of crazy storylines, even to the fact that when he came back, they tried to give him the mask back and had him do the embrace the hate thing with John Cena, and it didn't really work. Like, the mask looked horrible. It looked like somebody just took some red wax and melted it on his head. Like, the mask wasn't pleasing, and then he was also going to the ring with a welding mask on, so he had two masks on, double masked up. Double cheeked up, but pause. But yeah, but Kane was still out there. He was still doing good matches. He was putting people over. Of course, he was a good company man and things like that. Even when he started doing corporate Kane, he started having a corporate thing. He used to wrestle in suit pants and stuff like that. He was still wrestling, still doing stuff. And I give it to him. He went from a guy that was burning people to a guy that was burning people from an authoritative background, and it worked. I think Kane gave his all in everything he did. Corporate Kane, running the show a little bit, or running with the authority and stuff like that. It worked. Like, to me, it worked. Like, I was irritated that he did that, and I'm not saying irritated as you need to go away. I was just like, man, like, you're too good at this job, and it worked for him. And I think that I wish that a lot of wrestlers look at that and look at Kane's career, and they'll be like, dang, like, this dude really did give his all in almost every character he did. You dang near forgot that he was the Undertaker's brother when he was Corporate Kane. He had a full hairline. You know what I'm saying? And then like they would have him like go back and forth between the two until basically he retired. I don't know if he retired, if he said anything, but like I said, you know, never say never. But Kane is one of those ones that a long wrestling career, he still looks good. He's in good shape. He's like 50 something or whatever like that. I think he's up there with one of the greatest big men, and I wanted to talk about him. Now, a lot of people can't stand him now. A lot of people do not like Kane because of, well, he's a mayor of Tennessee, and a lot of people do not like his political stance. Now, this is my take on political stance. I think it's funny that a lot of people say, keep politics out of this. Keep politics out of that. Let's not do politics, right? But then in the same person, in the same boat, will say, I don't like this person because of their political views. Do you get what I'm saying here? You get what I'm saying here? Like if we're talking about just the wrestler, and it's funny because he was booked at a show in the Midwest, and a lot of people were saying they didn't like that he was being booked because of this and that, and the promoter did great. Hey, we are people that are not siding with politics and stuff like that. So we won't use that to not book him because of you have a different political stance on things. And I applaud them for that, because I hate to say, like, when people want to debate, people have a limit. And don't get me wrong, I'll say it. I have a limit with certain things. I won't allow, or I won't like certain things. And that's the thing with the situation with Kane. Okay, Kane could be the nicest person, but the thing is, he's promoting something, or he's against something that a lot of people are supportive. So that's the thing. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, I'm not going to make a video about Kane, because I like Kane. I like the wrestler Kane, and he did what he was supposed to do as a wrestler. But at the same time, if you want people to keep politics out, you have to keep politics out yourself. That's all I'm going to say about that front. I got to stop now. We grown. You know what I'm saying? But Kane is definitely one of the greatest big men out there. What is your favorite Kane moment? Because I know I forgot some. I know I forgot some Kane moments and things like that. And I do know they diluted Kane a lot of times. You know, he lose to a lot of people. He lose to random people. He get squashed and things like that. But, you know, he gave his all 100%. And that still don't take nothing away from him. But Kane was one of the ones. What do you guys think? Do you like Kane? What was your favorite Kane moment? Did you like corporate Kane? Did you like him as Isaac Yankem? Hall of Famer for sure. Did you like him? Let me know. This is Chris Classic. Hope you guys have a wonderful and a blessed day. Let's take it home.